Well, I'm Cleo Parker Robinson, and I am the artistic director and founder of Cleo Parker Robinson Dance. Well, I'm Cleo Parker Robinson, and I am the artistic director and founder of Cleo Parker Robinson Dance. And we are going into our 55th year. And it's hard to believe, but I sit with a sense of just how did we do it? And knowing that we started in Denver, this is my home, but we started here with a passion to tell our story, to dance our story, to experience who we are and to share it with the world. And not just with the corner, but with the world. We felt like we were that young to believe that the world cared. We thought so. My father was the first black actor, and that was really wonderful to watch him on stage going from the janitor to becoming one of the first black actors, and watching the passion that he had for what he did and the discipline. And my mother was just amazing because she was a French horn player in the San Diego Symphony very young. So they both loved music. So I think being born in this community in Five Points at the Rosonia, which is sort of the Harlem of the West, feeling all of that music and that genius around me, I was just blessed to be born at the right time in the right place. So I started the company pretty young. I mean, I don't know if I knew I was starting a company. I think I had an opportunity to really become a part of the Model Cities Cultural Center. And that Model Cities Cultural Center gave me the opportunity to step out and go into every school and say, you don't have to pay me. I just want to be here with their students. I just want to dance, and I want them to dance. And the inner city was most important to me. You know, blessed to have my family and my husband, who was my boyfriend around that time. I had a boyfriend. And my grandbabies go, but you were only 12. I said, well, I had a boyfriend. He just focused on what it took to be excellent all the time. And he wasn't going to let me be anything but that.
So you started out as an athlete into dance?
Yeah, I did. I did.
It is, we find those moments when we know we're focused in a certain direction, and then we shift.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that moment?
Well, I think dance for me was something that I thought everybody danced, first of all. I didn't think anybody didn't dance. I mean, I danced. So thinking about dance as a career is not what I thought about. We grew up in the house, and I was the oldest of 4. So we cleaned the kitchen, we made our beds, we sang and danced, and, we'd turn on television and see Harry Belafonte and everybody else. I mean, that was what we did.
Yes.
I would see Catherine Dunham. I mean, we stopped and paid attention. Even in this community in Denver, where we didn't have a large black community, it didn't matter. That's what we did. And my father was an athlete. So I had all these athletes around. My mother was a swimmer. My father was a basketball player, football player. That's how I was raised. So being an athlete was just a part of the picture. But the dance, I think that critical point of where I said, but dance is how we bring people together. Because I think once I became very ill and near death and all of that transition, a very spiritual transition for me, it was like, I have to dance.
How old were you?
I was 12 by then, from 10 to 12. I became very ill in Dallas. And so I think after that, when the doctor said I would not be a normal child, I would be bedridden. So once they say, you will never move like a child, I think that little defiance part goes, watch me, watch me.
Determination.
Yeah, it was determination, or madness, I don't know. I don't know, But I know my grandparents prayed on me a lot. I know that. So my connection with spirit was spiritual. It was my own world. It was my world. Because when I saw people dance, I could see something about them that I couldn't see normally. And I could feel something different that I couldn't feel normally. You know, but I would go to ballet studios and nobody looked like me, I thought. I mean, I don't look that different, but at that point I felt I was very different. But it's the way I felt inside.
Yes.
It's the way I looked at myself
How
internally.
you saw yourself. Who were those that you looked up to? Who inspired you in dance?
Well, you know, I think about, first of all, my father was my first dance teacher. You know, he was, it was a lot of everything. You know, when he did anything, because he was an athlete, he ran up the stairs, ran down the stairs. He moved the tech with that kind of spirit. And he would just pop his finger like that. You know, get on with it, just move it. You know, so that was the energy that he had. You were not sitting.
Yes.
And he pushed himself physically. So he had us always doing something. We'd play baseball, we'd play, you know, volleyball. We would physically do things all the time. So he put on music, and he wanted us to hear lots of different music. He wanted us to hear blues and jazz and spiritual, but country music and music in different languages. And so we would move like that. So Daddy would say, get on up. And then what I loved about learning to dance from my father rather than a dance studio, actually, is that he said, that's boring. Do something new. Do something different. And then he would say, you've been out in the middle long enough. Let somebody else have a moment. So that sense of democracy,
Yes.
we learned, was like, that might be your personality, but the real quiet one, we want to hear from them too. So,
From there to here, who were those people that mentored you? That you go, Catherine Dunham to.
oh, absolutely. I had a lot of mentors. I mean, people, I think I was very fortunate because I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have the mentors. But I had people who said, you know, you're going to be a dancer. And I was not, I mean, I didn't think, what does that mean? And Daddy would say, well, I don't know. He said, he would say a lot of things like, well, you're black, you're a woman, you don't have any money. So why would you choose to be an artist and a dancer? You need to go on and make some choices here. Those you don't have any choice about. But right here, you have choice. So I chose to be a doctor. So my mentors were not dancers at first. So when I met Catherine Dunham in spirit, on television and everything, I was like, that is some magic up in there. That is some powerful stuff. But I also knew that whenever I then went to New York and took class, it could physically transform my body. I could physically transform it. So it was almost like a chemistry. Like I knew that that's my home. That's where I am. So the mentors were absolutely Catherine Dunham. She was very hard on me. I was always being tested. I don't know. Test. Maya Angelou was another wonderful mentor for me.
Yes.
Test. I love I've been tested by these beautiful women.
Yes.
And then embraced.
Yes.
Then embraced. And then given
sometimes you
a
have to go through the
challenge.
fires to earn your wings.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I love it, but I laugh about it sometimes because I go, I almost died. I don't know. You know, you feel like you cannot get through this.
But you do.
But you do. You do. I was named after my grandmother, Mama Cleo. And she was, she lived to be 1 month from 100. And I never knew that she was not into theater at all, not into dance at all. It was like, Cleo, you knew God's day is Sunday, and you know what, I mean, she was a missionary. She was deep. And she didn't like me dancing. She thought that was not what I should be doing because I had to then, I think mentoring was, you got to decide why you want to dance.
Right.
Why do you want to dance, you know? But there were dancers right here in Denver. Ernestine Smith. She was a twin. And she and her sister were ballerinas.
Yes.
They were the first black ballerinas here. And of course, they didn't dance in Denver. They danced around the world. So I never saw them dance. They gave me classes. And what inspired me is that they wanted to make sure I danced without any money. I didn't have money to train. So,
Wow.
so I knew that there would be students like me that
Yes.
would want to dance, but did not have the means. And I had to make a way.
Right.
Yeah.
You grew up, as you say, in the Jim Crow South.
Oh, yeah. I was serious.
From there to here. What were the challenges along the way?
It was everything. From not wanting to eat because you go to restaurants and wouldn't be served. Or if you were served, they were very rude. But most of the time you weren't served. And you'd wait and wait and wait. You come into restaurants and everybody would stare. And they wouldn't serve you. And then I worry about my father and my mother, you know, because Mama being white, you know, she just couldn't believe the way my father would be treated. I mean, it was beyond, you know. So she became like President Roosevelt's wife, you know, like she was radical then. Like, we are not going to go in there unless they serve us. And Daddy would say, just be cool, just be cool, because you don't understand this right here. Because I could get lynched,
Right.
you see. And she was like, this is wrong. And he would say, absolutely, but this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to use a different way of dealing with this. So it was really a lesson of how do we cope?
Right.
How do we manage to get through this?
Right. And how you get that pendulum moving the other way.
Absolutely.
And for a while it
Yeah.
did.
Oh, my Lord.
And here we
And it
are
did.
today.
Oh, my Lord, I can't believe it.
Yes.
It's
How do you
shocking.
feel? From November of last year to now.
Oh, well, November of last year, I wailed. I wailed. I could hear my father. I could hear my grandmother. I could hear my grandfather. I could hear them. I wailed. And even people who knew me and have come through this, who were even white men, wailed. That was deep. So I'm like, if you get it, it's way deep, because I get it. But if you get it by your experience of being with us,
Right.
then what are we? And they're calling me, what are we going to do? I'm like, well, we are going to come up with something, thinking that we could. This November, I couldn't even wail. That was deep. It was so painful that I could not even cry hard. I was numb. I was really numb. I said, what is going on with our country? I run around the world with my company talking about the beauty of this country and the example that we demonstrate. But I don't want to be in fear. I think that we have so much power
Yes.
in our art.
Yes.
I think the genius and the power is so strong, we have to stop and find out what that is again.
Right.
We can't
Again, because we've been through this
Oh, we
before.
have, absolutely.
Yes, just
absolutely.
as when you were a child,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
coming of age, people would gather together
They would.
and strategize about tomorrow.
Absolutely. And
What
they
do
would
we need
fight.
to do now?
Speak. Speak. Young people have to speak. Elders have to speak.
Yes.
We have to hear each other. We have to hear each other.
A generational conversation.
Absolutely. And we have to empower our young people
Yes.
to do all that they can do. They didn't inherit this time of privilege without doing their part. They got to do the work. But they don't know how to work right now.
Right. Every generation has to
They
fight
have to
for
figure
it.
out how to work. And it will take work. It will take
Right.
work. You can't just
Right.
sit and wish. It's not about wishing. You can wish and pray, but you got to do the work.
Right.
You got to do the work. You
Right.
got to show up. And you have to compromise a little bit too. Got a little compromising because it can't be your way. It has to be, let me hear. Let me hear what you think. Let me hear what you think. I don't think quite like that, but let me see if I can assess that. And then let us have a plan of action.
Right.
I think we have to have them. But if we're not talking to them and we're just mad.
We have to.
We have to, really. Well, they don't know. It was during the voting that I knew they didn't understand how deep that was. Like my son, like Malik, running this organization now.
Yes.
He's letting me know that he did not have deaf ears. He could see. I wasn't sure he could always see. But if I brought Gordon Parks in here, for 10 years I worked with Gordon Parks.
Yes.
He's going to learn something. Even though he's a child, he's around and he's getting it. He's feeling it. He's understanding it. And we're thinking, well, they're children. They don't know. No. I mean, they're getting it.
Yes.
And
you start
and when they give
early.
it back to you.
Right. You start early planting those seeds.
Exactly. And that's what I see.
Yes.
You see, I think our work is the African diaspora. So it doesn't limit us
Right.
to this small vision that we are slaves and we belong to somebody or we need to work for somebody or whatever those crazy thoughts were that put us in such a terrible place of serving and not being, not getting the kind of reparations,
Right.
you know.
And this is not a time of despair.
No.
It is a time of gathering
Absolutely.
together
Absolutely.
and remembering how we got here from.
Don't
People
know.
are asking,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
don't know
which
what to
way
do.
to turn. I want to get involved. What to do? What would you say to them?
Well, I don't know. I think I see a lot of people right here. I think it's really wonderful. They've jumped in, made a commitment, and they're listening, and they're exploring, and they are learning, and they are leading. And I see that, and it makes me really inspired. And I just sit back and I take notes. I go, okay. I don't think it's good for them to be alone though, and just listen to
That's
themselves.
right. Exactly. You
You
know
won't do
that
it
you're
alone.
not alone.
Yeah, you're not
There are
alone.
those who are coming from behind and beyond.
And I think that part of sisterhood, brotherhood, that we must figure out again. We have to
Yes.
figure that out because people don't trust each other. There's no trust. They don't trust nothing, nobody. And I would never have gotten here if I didn't just trust. Not blindly,
Right.
not blindly, but trust. Trust that somebody's there for your welfare, you know. So we have to have a sense of resistance.
Yes.
And I think it's in the theater. And I think it's on the dance stage.
Yes.
And I think it's in the poetry and on the art.
Yes.
Because it's subliminal.
Yes.
It's subliminal. And people will wake up and do the right thing.
Yes, it's sacred ground where people from all sorts of directions
I think
can
so.
come together. They can see
And
each
that's
other.
natural. That's
Yes.
what people want to do.
Yes.
It's unnatural to do the other. Come out of our
Wow.
comfort zones. That's what I would say to young people.
Yes.
Come out of what feels comfortable and go into, make yourself aware.
Certainly, you have endured. You are so strong. Continue to have this voice that resounds off of history and memory, those who lifted you.
Thank
And so you continue on.
Thank you. Thank you.
you.
It's wonderful to be with you. I love this.
Thank you so
Look
much.
at this is a party over here.